Hello everyone, and welcome back to Rudy's 1/6 World for another, what I'm gonna call a new figure showcase video, because that's what it was originally intended to be, a review video of the Delorean from Back to the Future 2 by Hot Toys. But unfortunately, as you'll see as we go through the video, it's gonna become more of an unboxing and not review, but just the review stops cold, right? Because off the bat, I'll tell you, it's broken. So, you know, I did watch Denobi's video, right? And Mr. Mom's Collectibles video, and some of the other users who have, you know, some of them have had luck with the unit, some of them have not. So what I decided to do, as soon as I got it, I know a lot of people have been talking about user error. People have been forcing the wheels out too much. So one of the things I did when I got it was I wanted to kind of document the unboxing process, right? Starting with all the pieces. Sure, you get the double tray, you get all these pieces. I was very excited, especially when I took it out of the box. So what I did was I basically removed the piece with the plastic wrapping, put it on my table, unwrapped it, and just kept documenting. And then what I decided to do is, before even touching the tires, I grabbed a towel, and because I didn't want to scratch the roof of the unit, right? And I put it down on my table and I flipped the DeLorean. Again, I didn't touch any of the wheels. And while this looks a little funny, what I wanted to do was I wanted to see if the mechanism for the wheels was fully visible from above, and it was, which was a great thing. So I started inspecting each wheel well individually to see if I could see any cracks or any potential cracking. And you know, it started off well. I started with the two front tires. You could definitely see the mechanism without having to do the conversion itself into the hover mode. So I started with the top, looked at the first two wheels, the front wheels. Mechanism looked intact. So at that point, at least I would have known if I start converting it and something breaks, it might have been the way I handled it. Then I started looking at the rear wheels, and again, they looked okay for the moment. And then I flipped to look at the other end of one of the rear wheels, and my entire strut that holds that mechanism in place is cracked. It's cracked through. So I think for me, that's a definitive, this is not a case of user error, right? I didn't try to roll it. I didn't try to hover convert it. I didn't try to pivot it back and forth. I literally just flipped it and looked at the wells and looked at the mechanism, and it's just cracked. It's completely cracked. It's not even like a minor stress line. It's just cracked through. So that was disappointing to me. As soon as I saw that, it was like, well, this is gonna go back. Although I did have a moment where I thought maybe I could fix this. Again, I would recommend, if you are interested, Mr. Mom's Collectibles has a great video on the repair work he did for his, although his wasn't a full break. His was just, you could see the stress line. But here I thought maybe I could just try to fix it, but this is a full break. I mean, you know, I didn't even try to pull the wheel out at that point in time, because it just seemed like, what am I doing that for? So, you know, I thought, let me check the lights, let me check everything else. You know, let me look at the wheels, let me just inspect this to see if there's anything else wrong. You know, it's unfortunate because nothing else is wrong with the piece, right? I didn't have any of the detached seats. I didn't have any scratches on my unit, right? Everything looks, it really does look great. I gotta be honest, when I took it out of the box, I was so excited because every piece here looks incredible. And then, you know, unfortunately, I discovered the brake. I'm glad I did it before I hover converted, because it just eliminates any issue or any doubt in my mind about this being user error versus something with the fabrication process, because I didn't touch this at all. So it's unfortunate because it is a beautiful looking piece, but it just seems like, whether it's quality control, something happened with when they were transporting this. I know temperature's been discussed as well. You know, I'm not adding anything new to the conversation in terms of that, other than to say I didn't touch the tires at all, and it was already broken. So it was broken out of the box. There was no user error. There was no forcing of the tire here. So it's disappointing. The lights worked great. You know, everything else worked fantastic. But for the price that is being charged here, you know, I did again think, do I want to go through the hassle of returning this? and maybe I try to fix it by myself. And I decided no, for what we're paying for these pieces, I want it to be pristine out of the box. I don't want to, especially for a mechanism like that, which is kind of pivotal. So I know Sideshow has already delayed a ton of these. So I think I might have been one of the last people to get this from the first batch. Hopefully we'll see what happens. I'll reach out to Sideshow. Sideshow's been great about issues I've had in the past, so I don't anticipate having issues with returning this, especially because, again, it's just fresh out of the box. But it's just really disappointing to me, what I'm seeing here. And again, for the price, if it had been a figure or just one piece that was detached, even the seat that I could have re-glued down, sure. But with this being such a pivotal mechanism for the car itself, I don't even want to chance it. And it's a shame because it really does look impressive in person. I missed out on the first Delorean because I didn't have space at the time. I was living in an apartment. Now I'm in a house. I'm getting Maja cases, so it seemed like perfect. I've got another opportunity to get this piece. So I had this ranked as one of my top most anticipated releases of the year. So it's just, again, unfortunate that this is happening. But again, not a full review video, but it's just me letting you know I had issues. I don't know how rampant these are, but a lot of people seem to be complaining about the same issue, the same break. I was hoping I wasn't going to have to deal with it, but unfortunately I am. So it's going to go back. It's going to go back, and hopefully my exchange piece is pristine. I was debating about whether or not to get the Batmobile from Hot Toys or Jazz Inc., and this kind of soured me, especially with Hot Toys not saying anything at this point yet. I might be willing to pay the extra money for Jazz Inc. at this point. I think he's got great customer service. He's shown that. I have his Iron Scavenger as well. It's a great piece. This just left a bad taste in my mouth, especially considering, again, the cost and the size of the piece. So that's it. That's a quick update video on this. Let me know your comments and your thoughts on this. And as always, thanks for watching. And if you are enjoying the content, please consider hitting that like button or commenting and subscribing. Thanks again, and we'll touch base on the next video.